Hello, everyone. This is Kendal Askins from Stimulating Minds. Askins stimulates on all of our social medias. Joining you another Wednesday with another gem to drop. And today I wanted to chat with you guys about checking yourself. So, often we go through a lot of things in life. And we a lot of times look at things from a lens of what's being done to us. And so often when we have fallouts with people, when we experience something that's unpleasant, when we have a disagreement, when we're just trying to understand different things, it's very easy for us to look at the other person and what we feel was done to us. But how many times are you actually taking a moment to understand the situation, how the other person is perceiving it? And this is not to say that other people don't have tainted lenses or that it's our responsibility to navigate everybody's trauma or everybody's perception of the world. But it is important for us to recognize how we are showing up in the world and the things that we can be contributing to situations. When things don't go as we want them to go, it takes two people to involve that. And so even though we have decisions on our boundaries and things that we accept, it is important that we are checking ourselves as we are navigating these situations. I've often had to check myself because I am a very straightforward person. I'm a very direct person. I have no problem just saying what it is. And sometimes people feel that can lack emotion. And there's times where I really honestly feel like I'm not responsible for how you receive the information that is the truth out here, right? Like a lot of us feel that like that's not my responsibility, and I'm comfortable enough in myself to know like I'm not taking ownership of that. However, the other side of that is that you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar, right? And so I care more about the facts that I'm saying and the things that I'm saying out of my mouth, or do I care more about the message and how I'm trying to communicate with somebody, right? And so for me, it's important that my message be understood. And so even though if I feel like I'm sending factual information, that I know what I'm talking about, that I've set the boundaries, that I feel comfortable in the decisions that I make, I can still check myself. Am I being sensitive to how someone might need to receive information? And often we experience this and we have a hard time with like, well, they're not doing it, so why do I have to do it, right? And how I would answer that is that it's important for us to be our most authentic self. So if we're showing up in a space, if I'm just talking about myself, I need to be able to show up in a space how I would show up in a space, whether I was happy, sad, aggravated, whatever it is. I need to be true to who I am. If I am changing who I am to appease another person, no, that's not a great thing. But I can also be true to who I am and at the same time be understanding to how somebody needs to receive a message, right? And so I am not going to lie, this can be exhausting because everybody is different. And so I constantly feel like I'm code switching on and off. Like at work, I'm dealing with different personalities. At home, I deal with different personalities. With friend groups, I deal with different personalities. And just trying to understand how I can be sensitive to these personalities, but at the same time, be true to who I am is not an easy task, right? However, it is very doable. And so those are the moments where I check myself and check how I'm showing up in spaces and making sure that I'm being true, but that I'm also being considerate and understanding. So I want you to think about this week, like how are you checking yourself and how are you showing up in spaces? And constantly as you're experiencing situations, are you always looking from a lens of what somebody else has done to you? Or are you looking from a lens of like, well, how can maybe I show up differently in this space? And it is okay to be focused on yourself and how you can show up best in that space so that you're not stressed and so that you feel good about the space. And it's also very much okay to set certain boundaries in the space and to know what you are going to entertain and what you're not going to entertain. And all of those things in between. But I do want to make sure that I share the message that's important for us to be reflective and check our own selves and how we're showing up, and not always think that it's our responsibility to check everybody else around us. So drop in the chat. Let's hear how you check yourself. Let's hear some things that you do in order to make sure that you're showing up as your best self all of the time. Also, remember, we've dropped this course, Unstoppable, Be Unstoppable. It is self-paced. You can register at any time. If you are trying to register and maybe you just don't have the full funds right now, don't let that stop you. Reach out to me and we can arrange something. But you do not want to miss this. Be Unstoppable. I am telling you, it will help you unlock your power. It will help you become reflective. It will help you know how to show up as your most authentic self and harness your power to manifest anything that you want. So make sure you go over to our website, go to the courses tab, enroll now in our Be Unstoppable course. It includes live check-ins, but it is also self-paced. So you move at your own pace and you have lifetime access to the material. Do not miss this opportunity, guys. So I will see you guys back here next Wednesday for more fun. Bye.